Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election. As Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the INEC declared president-elect, has cried out that the opposition are planning to truncate his swearing-in. That is what we're going to talk about right now. Now, before I go further on this, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. President-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has raised the alarm over plots by some aggrieved partisans to truncate the transition process, particularly his expected sworn-in on May 29, 2023. Tinubu, in a statement by his Director of Public Affairs and Minister of State, Labour and Employment, Mr. Festus Keyamo, also warned the presidential candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and that of Labour Party, peterobi, against taking to the streets while also pursuing their cases in court. In the statement issued on Saturday in Abuja, the president-elect noted that those who have taken to the streets protesting against his mandate are fixated on having an interim national government. Part of the statement reads, "We have watched with great concern the condemnable activities of some persons and groups who are desirous of truncating our democracy. For reasons best known to them, these persons have remained embittered that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was declared winner of the 2023 general elections. Repeatedly, but unfortunately, these misguided individuals have called either the cancellation of the results or that the president-elect should not be inaugurated on the 29th of May 2023. We wish to reiterate and emphasize that these positions are not in tandem with our constitutional provisions or our electoral laws. We would have taken these as mere wishful thinking. However, because of their implications for national security and public order, we have therefore considered it necessary, if not expedient, to call them to order. We are aware of the intentions of those engaged in these treasonable and subversive acts. We also know those involved in the many plots being contrived to undermine the transition in particular and democracy in general. They are fixated in an interim government. They have done it in this country before, and it threw the country into avoidable crisis for many years, and they want to do it again. They are bent on delegitimizing. The new government. Some have made treasonable insinuations and openly called for military takeover. It is for these reasons that they are desperate to incite the people against the incoming government. It is perplexing to see that those contesting the results want to be in the courts and on the streets at the same time. However, if their intentions is to truncate the inauguration of the president-elect and vice president-elect, they should immediately bury the thoughts. It is gratifying to note that the president has set in motion steps for the actualization of the swearing-in ceremonies. In this regard, the Presidential Transition Council has remained focused and committed to its terms of reference in terms of organizing a hitch-free handover. by being declared winners, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima are legally entitled to be inaugurated into office as provided for by law and as we have practiced since 1999, while those who feel otherwise have the right to seek legal redress. Should, should their situation now, what he's saying here, okay, let me take this again. He said, by being declared winners, when Bola Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima are legally entitled to be inaugurated into office as provided by law, and as we have practiced since 1999, why should their while those who feel otherwise have the right to see legal redress? Why should their situation be different from what we have practiced since 1999? Now, I will start analyzing this excerpt of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu through his Director of Public Affairs, Festus Keyamo, which he released today, Saturday. I want to start from the last paragraph, where he said that since 1999, the practice has always been that the president-elect is sworn in, and anybody who has any grievance against the president-elect goes to court to seek remedy over whatever infractions the person had observed. But there's something I want Festus Keyamo to take note of, from my understanding of what is going on. He is making reference to 1999. Since 1999, is Festus Keyamo aware that since 1999, no president-elect, nobody has ever been declared president-elect without meeting the requirements of Section 134, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution as amended. And that section of the Constitution states that where two or more candidates vies for the office of the president, for the person to be declared, for a candidate to be declared winner, first he will have the majority of the votes cast in the country. B, he should have gotten 1/4, that's 25% of 24 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And we have already been told that by Michael Andwaka, a former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, that the Supreme Court has already settled this matter in court. That wherever there is a dispute over what is the situation of Abuja in that section of the Constitution said, where you get 24%, 25% in 24 states, you must also get 25% in Abuja. That is what the law says. So if Festus Keyamo is asking, why is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima swearing in going to be different from others? Why should it be different from? It is basically because of this identified deficit in the what do I say, in the identified deficit in their meeting the requirement that they did not meet 25% of the votes cast in Abuja, valid vote cast in Abuja. That is why people are, that's the only bone of contention. If they had gotten it, if Asiwaju Bola Tinubu had gotten that 25%, I believe that the matter will not be a serious issue as it's being made to be right now. It is that deficit, that inability of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to get 25% of the valid votes cast in Abuja. That was why there is a lacuna in his inauguration. That's why people are raising issues about his inauguration. Because already, or ab initio, a lot of people are concerned that the INEC chairman, the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, was in a haste to declare him president-elect, especially given the fact that there were issues about the election, which even the Electoral Act provided a window to look at all those things before a declaration could be made. You can see even in the governorship election that was held across the country, there were some states, it took days before the governorship election result could be declared and a governor-elect announced. But Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC chairman, didn't give opportunity to the opposition to be able to present their case so that they will be reviewed before declarations are made. Because even when an agent of the PDP, Senator Dino Melaye, drew the attention of the INEC chairman to these anomalies at the National Collection Center, Yakubu said they are going to look into all those grievances later. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, while Nigerians were still have gone to bed around 4 a.m. or thereabout, the man went ahead and declared Asiwaju Bola Tinubu business president-elect. And that has raised a lot of suspicion. Why the haste when there were issues about the election, especially given the fact that INEC disregarded its own guidelines and even the Electoral Act, which stipulated that the results of the election shall be transmitted in real time from the polling units to the IREF, while the senatorial election and the House of Reps election held at the same day were able to be transmitted. Nobody in Nigeria, in the 176,000 polling unit, was able to transmit presidential election results, which raised a lot of suspicion that it was deliberate. And INEC has not been able to convince Nigerians that there was nothing fishy about the inability of all the polling units across Nigeria to transmit the presidential election results, beyond telling Nigeria there were technical hitches or glitches. So why don't the technical glitches affect only the presidential election results, while the National Assembly results were able to be uploaded to the IRF? Perhaps that's something that Festus Keyamo should think about when he begins to say, why should the inauguration of Kashim Shettima and Asiwaju Bola Tinubu be different from the rest? It is different because if they are sworn in, if they still go ahead and swear them in, it will be the first time that somebody is being sworn in since 1999 without meeting the 25% valid vote threshold in Abuja. Since 1999, all the presidents we have had, Obasanjo met this requirement in 1999. He made the same requirement in 2003. President Yar'Adua met the same requirement in 2007. Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan made the same requirement in 2011. Buhari made the same requirement in 2015 and 2019. So why should 2023 be different from the rest of the election cycles? That is the question that Festus Keyamo should answer. And that is the reason why some people are raising issues about swearing him in. That's why people like Dati Baba Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, said that it will be unconstitutional, that it will be no different from a military being sworn in to take over. So that's basically where people are concerned. Now, what can be done about it? I believe there's a solution. If the government itself want to do justice to this matter, then they should ensure, based on the Administrative of Justice Act, which gives room for acceleration of very important cases, in fact, all cases, to avoid all these unnecessary delays, they can accelerate the hearing of this matter, of the petition filed by the Labour Party, the PDP, and others. Because one of this interpretation of 134, Section 134, Subsection 2B, is one of the things that Labour Party is hinging on, to say that he was not qualified to be president-elect or to be issued certificate of return. So what the government ought to do is to liaise with the judiciary or the tribunal to ensure that every issue that has to do with legal encumbrances standing on the way of Asiwaju Bola is settled before the election, and it can be done. But if that is not done, then you cannot stop people like Dati Baba Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of Labour Party, from saying that what is inaugurated on May 29 without settling this matter is an illegality. Because already Dati Ahmed in his interviews have said that this matter is a settled matter. Why did he say it's a settled matter? Because the Supreme Court had already ruled on it in 2008 on Yaradua versus Buhari. Now, if that is the case, it means there's already a precedent. There is nothing actually to settle. It means that if that law being cited by Anduaka, and Anduaka is not an ordinary Nigerian. He's a former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice under Yaradua administration. So he should know better. In that case, if it is a settled matter, then there is absolutely nothing to settle. There is no basis to even contemplate inauguration. But if they can prove that it is not a settled matter, then they can still bring it up for this Supreme Court to look at it, whether they accept it. Because after all, Michael Anduaka, in his submission, even after citing the Buhari Yaradua case, which was settled by the Supreme Court, and declared that, and in that section of the Constitution that talks about winning 25% in 24 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, that it is conjunctive, that it's a must, that you must get it. Also, this say in that interview with Arise TV, that the Supreme Court, this present Supreme Court, may decide to change their mind. Of course, I didn't like that kind of suggestion, in the sense that why should the Supreme Court change its mind? Because that is what is called the law of precedent. The Supreme Court has already set precedent by that ruling of 2008. Unless if Anduaka himself is not sure of what he was citing, but he cannot be said not to know what he was a senior advocate of Nigeria before he was stripped of that title under controversial circumstances. So he knows the law. And he was a major player in that particular case that was settled by the Supreme Court, being the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, as at the time the Supreme Court handled that matter. So if they can go ahead and change their mind, fine and good. But until they do that, I don't think that Festus Keyamo is fair to those who are saying, look at the constitution again. You can't swear this man in because he did not meet this particular requirement of the constitution. So it is unfair of Festus Keyamo to ask, why are people saying that? Why should swearing in of Tinubu and Shetima be different? I think I have explained why it is different from the rest. Then he was also talking about the fact that the people are trying to stop the swearing in of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that they are drumming up for interim government. Now he was raising an alarm that interim government, people are pushing for interim government as a stopgap to ensure that Tinubu is not sworn in. And in the beginning, he tried to sound helpless, that something needs to be done. They have to be cautioned, those who are doing this. But you see, in a later paragraph, he now emboldened himself by saying that those who think that they can stop this inauguration, they better bury the idea that it cannot work. After all, that the President Muhammad Buhari has already set machinery in motion for the transition to the next government, so that nobody can stop it. Now, if nobody can stop it, why is he issuing a statement on it anyway? If you are so sure that what you are on the right path and that the presidency is already tailored towards that path, so why are you raising an alarm that they are trying to truncate Tinubu's inauguration? Since you are so sure that nothing can stop them, those who are plotting to truncate the inauguration, that they are wasting their time and that there is nothing they can do about it. Aswad will be inaugurated, and that Buhari has already put processes in motion to see for his inauguration. It means you just want to make some noise, since you are so sure that nothing can stop it. But whatever may be the case, Kashim Shettima, whatever may be the case, Dati Baba Ahmed has already made his own point clear that if Tinubu is inaugurated, it will be an illegality, and the government therefrom will be an illegality. That is his position. And to avoid those kind of lacuna, the best thing is that this matter be settled once again by the Supreme Court before May 29. That is the only way to avoid instituting a government that will seem to be an illegality. Don't forget, Aswad Bola Tinubu may be declared president-elect by INEC because they say he scored 8 million votes. But don't forget also that Atiku Abubakar got over 6 million votes. Buhari, peterobi over 6 million votes. Rabi Kwankwaso over 1 million votes. So there were about 13 million votes against Aswad Bola Tinubu. So they should stop being combative and see how they can use conciliatory tone and then pray that the court validates the declaration. I think that's the only way. Because if it is to march on the street, there are 13 million people that will march against Aswad Bola Tinubu on the streets, compared to the 8 million that will march for his favor. And you can know the direction it will go if it goes to street battle. So that is why the law should be allowed to do the to find solution to the problem, and that's why we have the judiciary. So it is not for Festus Keyamo to tell people not to go to the street. There is nothing wrong in going to the street peacefully while people are still in courts. It is the fundamental right of people to go to the streets to protest peacefully, and it is the right of the aggrieved to go to the court. Meanwhile, many of those who are on the street are not the same people in the court. There are different, all these women we see on the streets. Many of them are not there because they are part of those who are in the courts. They just want to express their own displeasure because they don't know what else to do. They can't go to court because they don't have locals to go to court. But they have the street legitimacy because they casted their votes and their votes was allegedly stolen. So they have to protest for it. Thank you for watching this video. This is where I'm stopping for now. And as this issue develops further, we'll discuss it furthermore. Please, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, more people will be recommended. It will be recommended for more people by Google, and it will be good for all of us that more people see this kind of analysis, objective analysis on political developments in our country. God bless you and yours.